Welcome back, my friends. My name is Eric. This is Rome, and we're back with some more Rogue Trader. Still really want to say Mech Warrior, but that's okay. We're getting. We keep playing this. We'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, excuse me. Well, that was kind of cool. We got a cool foreshortening for anime. Action pose. All right, we've got an unidentified void ship over here. We've got Rycad Minoris. We've got the Prison Planetoid. We could go... I think this one's reasonably short. I've done this one. I don't remember if I finished this one or not last time. This is to get our engines here. Let's go here first. We'll do a scan. We'll see if there's anything there, because we haven't scanned it yet, I don't think. All right. We don't have a quest there or anything. It's just, I think it's just a barren planet. Extractium. All right, so there's nothing there. Okay. Now let's go take a look at this unidentified void ship. I'm going to hit F5 just because we've done it. I think we'll do this first. Uh-oh, Lord Captain, there's some commotion on the officer's deck. The Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck. Okay, we shall. Oh, we got level ups too. Actually, I noticed at the end of the last episode, we got level ups to do. Maybe we'll do this, and then we'll do our level ups, and then we'll go check out the bandit ship. I think this is a new cutscene section. I don't think I've seen this.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
It said she's engrossed in pursuing the dusty tomes which appear to have been neglected by the other officers, be it because of sloth or dullness of mind. When you walk closer, Cassie looks up at you, starts and hides a weathered book behind her back. I see you're fond of reading.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing.
All right, it was a collection of works by the Cadian naval commander and poet, alias Quint. All right.
WH40K had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
Ah, okay. Gently brushes the dust off the cover with a thin clawed hand, her eyes filled with longing after reminiscing about her lost home. The events must have shaken you. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Hold on a second. I got something on the lens there that's bugging me. All right. Cassia's response is reserved and pointedly decorous, clearly intended to create a distance between you. All right. So we asked. We tried to be nice, and she's like, "Hey, we have borders." Fair enough. Your only attendant is your valet from Uric 5. Do my servants not measure up to your standards? They probably died.
No, it is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
And he doesn't die. Hasn't ripped out his eyeballs, hung himself with his own intestines, that sort of stuff. All right, perception test succeeded. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment on her forehead, then awkwardly hides her clawed fingers in the folds of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of navigators often becomes a topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It is unsurprising, then, that Cassia prefers the company of one who is used to how she looks. All right. Well, I hope you have had ample time to calm yourself and your powers.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others.
Maybe.
And far less devoted to the God Emperor than
Well,
a herald
definitely.
of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior in your question just now insulting.
Again, your last ones ripped their intestines out and hung themselves with it.
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
Well, I am also a psyker. Not a navigator, but a psyker.
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
Frightened by her own words, Cassia covers her mouth, pales, blushes, then pales again, and hides her face behind the cascade of her snow-white hair. All right, we got a lot of options. I begin to think the feelings I have for you are more complicated. Okay. Human emotions are natural. Quite right. I would ask that you mind what you say from now on. Okay. It is difficult for me to feel empathy for a mutant. Well, I am one. Do we go... Okay. I don't generally romance characters in games. It's not the gameplay loop that does it for me. Every once in a while, every once in a while. So, for instance, Baldur's Gate, not at all. Zero interest in any... Well... How much? I did a little bit in that. I mean, it's hard. That's a really randy game. Cyberpunk, I guess 2077. Followed one, but not a lot of it. I'm not here for that. I'm not here to make the game a romance simulator, I guess. But you know what? Why not? Let's go with this. Let's hopefully she'll be here for a while. And ultimately, I think she's going to be very powerful. Let's take advantage of her. There's a word I'm looking for. Sensitivity, isn't it? There's a lot of words. Anyway, it would be terrible for us as the commander to take advantage of her in this state. But you know what? This is the grim dark. You have to think for the future. Let's go for it. I'm beginning to think, Lady Cassia, that the feelings I have for you are more complicated than common sympathy.
Lord Captain?
Although she can read her mind, so...
Colorful sparks are flaring to life and dimming all around you. It is a veritable ocean of emotions. There are so many of them that I can barely see the pure white sincerity of your words.
There we go. That's right. Hopefully, it's really there and not just wishful thinking on her part.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of URAC-5. So, why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here? At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... My delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
All right. I would not dare to make fun of a lady's feelings. I would rather we find amusement elsewhere. That seems a little bit forward. I think we take things a little slower than that. Your manner of addressing me as if I was your friend. No, I understand you're going through. My own life was turned upside down not long ago. That's true. I'm not in the habit of finding amusement at the expense of my people. We go with this one. After all, that's the true one. Or we continue to play the romance a little heavy, but not this heavy. Not this heavy, excuse me. We'll go for this one.
Words like that, Lord Captain, could easily be misconstrued. You should familiarize yourself with some of the works in your library
but she
to
blushed.
learn the appropriate manner of conversing with a lady.
Struggling to maintain an expression of polite indifference, Cassia covers her burning face and swiftly exits the room. Point. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's level up us. Okay, everybody can be leveled up. We'll start with us, though, because we're here. All right, what do we got? We're going to get an ability, and we're going to get a skill. All right. Endure Sworn Enemy. Marks a target, gaining 10 plus 2 times their toughness bonus. All right, so that would be 18% armor and 6 damage on melee attacks against that. Okay. If the target attacks the warrior during this round, I gain an additional AP. Okay, so we could drop that on somebody. It's 1 AP. Drop it, charge it, get a second attack. That'd be our 4. We could even do a bleed attack on him. That'd be 4 AP. I think charge is just 1. Or do a normal attack and then an endure on top of that, right? Oh, I don't have endure on you. Or do I? Is that why it's locked? Yeah, I already have it. All right. So we do something like that. That wouldn't be bad. Reckless Strike. Next melee attack gains a strength bonus, essentially, to armor penetration, strength advantage to bonus, and ignores 3 times my weapon skill, so 12 of their parry, which is pretty significant. I mean, parry is... Every enemy who survives an attack enhanced by this ability, okay, including characters with ranged weapons. Okay, so that's a good one to pull. That's essentially an aggro, right? If they live, they come after us. Forceful Strike. All their strength for a crushing strike. The next melee attack pushes the enemy. I'm not as big a fan. I'm fine keeping them where they're at. Although, I mean, if they pushed away and they don't come back at us, then next time we could step away one more and we could charge in, right? Scream is... Okay, so this is another taunt, an aggro. Slash ability gains the slash ability with agility bonus divided by 2 charges. So our agility bonus is 3. So we'd only get 1. So that's not really useful unless we get at least a 2, right? Because 3 divided by 2 is 0.6, which will round down. So we need to get that. Oh yeah, 1.1.5. I can't do math. It'd just be 1. If we can get it to 2, that'd get us 2 charges for this round. But it can't be used in the same round as charge. Well, we do a lot of charge. We could go for... We've got Sanctic, Purge Soul. Could go for a Purge Soul. I already have Shield of the Emperor. I don't know why I can take that again. Oh, no, I have Word of the Emperor, don't I? Alright, so until the start of the Psyker's next, all allies affected by Word of the Emperor increase their deflection. Ooh, I kind of like that. I think we should go with that one. Because we do that often at the beginning. So especially if we don't have a good melee attack early on, we could pop Word of the Emperor, then pop Shield of the Emperor. We could still get a charge in on somebody if we wanted to move, or walk and then charge. Or take a shot. We have a gun now. Increasing their deflection by our psi rating, which is only 0 at the moment, so that's not going to do much. But it's going to be a minimum of 1. And armor by 10 plus 2 times the resolve, which would also be boosted by Word of the Emperor. I think that's probably a good one to take. We have Sword of Faith already? I need a psi rating of 3. Okay. Psi rating of 2. Oh, I need... Oh, yeah. Psi rating 2. And then either Purge or Shield. Okay, so I've got Shield here. Alternatively, we could go with Purge Soul if we wanted to just go more offensive, right? So 1 creature within 12. That's pretty good. So only 1 AP. It's going to be 1 plus our psi plus... 1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, well, I mean... Oh, I see. They're just making sure... Oh, so it's going to be 1 plus our psi rating plus 1, which is going to be 1 in this case, times resolve divided by 4. So 1 times resolve, which is whatever it is at that time. Okay. To 4. All right. You know what? Do I want an offensive? Do I want a defensive? That's 1 AP. This is 2. I said we were going to go offensive. Let's go with this one first. If we have another chance to get one before we get... That's psi rating 3. That's psi rating 2. That's psi rating 2. All right. So we have to get to... We'll see. We'll go with Purge Soul now. We'll go with Shield the Emperor if we get another option. Carouse or Athletics? I'm kind of thinking Carouse. It's already pretty good. Our Athletics is fine, but I'm going to go Carouse. That's plus 10. That's a big one. All right, I'm good with that. Complete. All right. Now our Navigator. All right. We haven't played with her yet in a combat, so we don't know kind of what we really want. She's got Bring It Down. Okay, so we looked at this already. She's got Voice of Command, right? So we can push an ally to their bonus, to give them bonuses. And then we also have this, which if we've already cast this on them, we can do it at any range. And potentially gets them additional momentum. So it gives them an extra turn with action points equal to 2 and no movement points. Okay. Finest Hour, ally an extra turn with full AP. Okay. So Commanding Voice increases the range of our abilities by 3. And increases the range of Voice of Command by 6. That's pretty good, especially if we're going to leave her towards the back to have that extra range. It's just going to boost her Resolve by 3. That's pretty good, especially if we looked at those abilities that we have that are going to work off of Resolve. And again, it's a passive. It's not an active that I have to try. That ally gains... Whenever an ally uses a heroic act, that ally gains temporary wounds equal to 10% of their maximum wounds plus Resolve. That could be good. I mean, we're already boosting a lot of that. It's not rare for us to get off 2 heroic actions in a fight. So that's not bad. Ally gains a bonus to perception. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, her willpower is already 60, so that's going to be an additional 6. So we could put that on, like, the sister, Argenta, for instance, for her shooting for ballistic skill. Spile Courage, I've already got. Personal Oversight. Whenever the officer targets an ally with an action, the ally's resolve is increased by 1 until... Okay, so that's just silly into the next turn. Okay. I like that. You know what? I'm going to go with her resolve. She's just going to get a flat plus 3. What is the range of Voice of Command? It doesn't say. You'd think that would be something on there. I'm just going to go with this one. All right. Fellowship willpower. Her willpower is at 60. Her fellowship's at 40. I would say her class is based off of fellowship. Her background here is based off of willpower. We could go plus 5 perception to get that up to a flat bonus 2. Let's do that. Just to get that bounced out. I don't know if that's the best option we have, but we'll go with it. All right, our third Psyker. All right. Fresh target. Is at full wounds, the attack deals 10 plus perception. All right. Exposed weakness also reduces their toughness to their willpower. Triggers an exploit on the enemy. The operative gains a damage and 2% until the end of combat. I mean, that's just a flat 1 damage and 2% armor pen. That's not bad. But I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go fresh target. That attack deals 10 plus your perception bonus, which at the moment is 5. So it's going to be an additional 15% more damage. That's probably more than just the one there. Maybe. Or go for it. I'm not sure if it is or not. I'm not going to math it. But we may as well keep boosting. What's our intelligence at? 30? We're going to have other characters that have good intelligence. So I'm just going to keep boosting. I guess I'm just going to keep boosting perception. All right, Argenta. We haven't got a lot out of Argenta, but in our past fighting, especially in Chapter 2, the very first beta, Argenta was far and away my favorite character, and just absolutely could destroy stuff. She hasn't lived up to that this playthrough. We've done more with other characters, primarily Adira, honestly, but she's done really well for us in the past. Although that last fight, it was me running in and killing everything that I was pretty happy with. All right, ballistic skill or agility. Her agility's at 50. I think we go ballistic skill here. Dash isn't bad because it gets her some more movement. Immediately dashes in the select movement, spending all their movement points. Does not provoke our attacks of opportunity. So this is a good one to get them, I say, either through people, so they can dash through allies and enemies, but also it allows her to get out of combat if somebody closes, and we don't have a good close combat weapon. That's not bad. Gives a sign that they are ready about to open fire. The soldier and their allies will all automatically dodge. Oh, so we can burst in to a group of us. Because right now I've been trying to play with it. So we can do... I'm going to go with this. Entrench. Immediately spends all their AP. Gives a 30%... No. Concentrated fire. Next, ranged area attack deals a lot more bonus. And cuts... That's good too. Its rate of fire doubled. No, I'm going to go with controlled shot. I like that. I like to be able to control a little bit of friendly fire. All right. Abelard, what do you think, buddy? What do you think? All right. You've already got Endure. Sworn enemy for you. Okay. Marks target. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking Reckless Strike. Because this again, this is it's offensive. It gets him a hit. So his next melee attack is going to get a bonus. But also, it's a taunt, right? So we could put him on a big guy like, say, that demon we fought last time. And go for that. I like that. And then he also gets a 10. Let's go athletics on him. We'll keep boosting that. Okay. All right. Oh, that's the ship. Oh, this is a cathedral we were in. Ah, okay, I remember this. Yeah, we walked through this on at the very first section. Okay. I remember where we are. We'll do a quick F5 here. We might not get very far on this one. We might just check to see what's on the void ship and call it, because we're already at 23 minutes. Come on. Crawl faster. Get up there. All right. And then we get to hit another loading screen. I would think this one should be faster, though. All right. We're going to go take a look at this unidentified ship. Or maybe we won't. Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. It's pandemonium. Oh, sorry. This is the Voxmaster. He doesn't have emotion. Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Versarian's voice. In any case, I wanted you to warn you in advance. Okay, well, I think I know what this one is. We'll see in a second. Maybe 3 or 4 seconds. Ugh. Go! Go! It makes it go faster when you do that. Yep, I know which one this one is. Yeah, this one might take the rest of our time. Everyday sounds of the bridge are disrupted by voices raised in anger. Abelard's voice the loudest of all. This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a highborn brat out on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. Except she's not a highborn. The young woman standing before Abelard strives with all of her might not to quail under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye and say, I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence toward a higher-ranking officer be logged in your personal file without delay. This will go down on your permanent record. Lord Captain! Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avril Levent, requesting permission to speak. She falls silent. On a matter of extreme importance and urgency. Well, remember, we're playing Our People Our Thing. All right, so I will listen to what you have to say. Speak, Lieutenant. Oh, let's go with this one. I think this one still fits. Yeah, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering in full view of the bridge is unacceptable. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I thought the drastic times called for drastic measures. Something I would have done. This matter cannot wait. I wasn't an officer. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, but I have been known to brashly talk to people who outrank me. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks on orders to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. But I'm convinced that this step is unwarranted and the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Abelard, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Viserion and to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks because very soon we will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. Vent reels off the last words as she knows them by heart. She has clearly been preparing to say them for some time. When she has finished, she casts an anxious glance to Abelard and then you. There's an insurrection and no one has informed me? I would not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue trader's attention. The lower decks, as it so happens, are in revolt. 30-some years ago, we even had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rule across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order, but even 8 years later, we are still battling rumors that the hero had survived his execution and was on the verge of gathering people to fight against tyranny once more. Needless to say, the rumors are baseless. As for the current situation, we have sufficient enforcers to deal with it. We already have to get like 2,500 more people because of losses in the last little thing. But on this ship, the word of the Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. I'm sure that if the rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, he will quell the unrest. I dread to think what problem you will disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps you'll ask the Lord Captain to bring up brawls in the mess room. I have already given you the means to resolve this problem. You simply need to use them. If I may, your lordship, sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion is a means of ignoring the problem, not solving it. Okay, how did this start? I got an itch right on the back of my ear. The situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it up the chain immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tensions between enforcers and workers to a head. And where does Seneschal Viserion come into all of this? I shall explain. I beg you hurry, time is running out. I will not hurry, since my competence is under scrutiny. I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There is an established order to the way things are done on this ship, and one of the pillars of that system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I have always handled internal problems myself, so, of course, when I received information about cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who ordered Theodora von Valencius will find refuge on her ship. My headcanon, he sounds like Jamie from the Mythbusters. In my head, that's... He doesn't have the mustache, but, you know, in my head... Well, I mean, Abelard. But in my head, that's what I'm hearing when I read it. I can't do an impression, so just live with it. Avril. You're far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Viserion. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors. It has driven the people to the brink. Now there's a strike on the lower decks, in Depot 4 to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into all-out insurrection. But when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. What is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors of the lower decks. It is home to clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who have served its specialized systems for generations. They are an easily replaceable resource, and one which is now, more besides, giving succor to cultists and minions of the archenemy. Depot 4 is poor and troubled, but at worst that means drunken fights and illegal rot gut brewing. We have handled the workers at Depot 4 in the past. We would have done so again if the crackdown on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. But another important point to bear in mind, the problem is not limited to this sector. It is located on one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that happens there has a knock-on effect on all the neighboring sectors. Abelard? I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. For my part, I urge the Lord Captain to go down to the lower deck, stop the assault and speak directly to the people. You will see they are not lying or harboring heretics. That way you will stop the uprising before it begins. Oh well. Just diet soda tonight. Nothing exciting. Yeah, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt here. I'm certain he was acting within his authority. And he was acting within his authority. There's no, I'm sure. I mean, there's no question about that. It's just whether it will continue to be in his authority after we investigate. I'll verify the soundness of his decisions for myself. Yep. Throne preserve you, Lord Captain. I thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. Little Bartles and James there, speaking of drinking stuff that's more fun. Abelard grits his teeth slightly. An enterprise bordering on sophomore. But please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist I escort you. Did you call me sophomore, Abelard? Really? Ah, we might as well take everybody. Yeah. Now, if you happen to be familiar with some of these situations, quests, are going to, if you know what your decision is ahead of time, so you've played through multiple times. This happens to be one I've seen probably 4 or 5 times at this point. Some characters are going to prefer, you're going to want there to score easy points with, or not have there so you don't have to deal with them disagreeing with you. This one, I think pretty much everybody's fine. In fact, I would, well, depending on what solution you choose, I would take Argenta. We don't need anybody for, I don't think we need anybody for a fight. I've never actually had to fight down here. There may be possible solutions that require it, but... Hey, it's Versarion. Take that, scum! Look what it is. This is all his fault. All of it. Well, this doesn't look good, Abelard. Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startling human gesture, and a telling one. A rare moment where he allows his age and weariness to show through his armor-like veneer of self-assurance. Not angry, just weariness. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes, I dearly regret we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. Alright, let's keep moving. We need to get to the bottom of this. Something resembling a nest made out of thermal insulation. It doesn't look, it looks like a bed. A regular bed. I guess this one maybe. Maybe. It's a valve. I don't know if we can do anything with it.
Let us not dawdle.
There used to be something stashed down there. I'm going to turn a valve and see what happens.
Do you see that?
Container can be seen behind the massive bars. Perhaps examining the pipe will allow you to reach it. I did examine. Maybe this one?
Look no further. Ugh, this master-crafted patellar augment is not fit for a servitor.
One more over here. Let me turn this one.
Your seneschal is always there for you.
Let us... Oh, it's just you. Let's grab you.
Should I divine our next step?
Perhaps examining the pipe will allow you to reach it. Well, I think I just did that.
Something ominous lurks ahead.
Frenzy, huh? Okay. So don't piss him off at the moment. Alright, well there's something there, but I can't figure out how to get it. And while those show up as clickable, they're not. You can see it doesn't go to a... This one changes to a hand. This one does not. Can I... Hold on. I wonder, can we right-click on that? Nope, don't know. No! Click through it. Not... The door's no longer there.
I go where the whispers lead.
Keep your wits about you.
Oh, there's... Oh. Can we get up to that? There's a path up there. Machine right set. All right. String of scratched letters along the edge. Different first names with the same surname. It looks like the box has been passed down to the family from generation to generation.
I always keep my options open.
Okay. Come on, click.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Wow, nobles from the upper deck. Down to see us here. Greetings, your graces. I don't see why we're here. Relax, old man. Going for a stroll on the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. But you know how the
Rise to
simple folk
top,
were.
or get
Alright, here we
left
go.
in the dust.
Our assault squad. The sounds of heated discussion reverberate through the ship's bays. Lieutenant of Real Event of the ship's enforcers is barring the path of a heavily built assault unit officer, and judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already. It has now reached a boiling point. Well, how long did it take us to get down here? I have my orders to put an end to the unrest and purge this sector. You can take your orders and shove them. This is my deck and my sector. There are only 3 people here who can waltz in here without my express permission. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. Ah, so not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Abelard mutters in crabby approval. He does not clarify whether he means Lieutenant Vent, the officer looming above her, or both. Your lordship! Noticing you, the 2 junior officers snap to attention and salute. Alright, what's the situation? Your lordship, my people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as resources allow. We're going to ignore that. Again, we're trying to please the people initially. We'll start with, I'll speak to the strikers. If we were to go full-on, like, priest dogmatic, then that might be a shut him down. Abelard's mouth twists, but he restrains himself and says nothing. But for this group, we're gonna talk. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck. I lost my accent there for a second. Sorry about that. Alright, well, they still showed up and...
I always have a backup plan.
You might want to do a save before you do this one. Guess the rolls don't go your way. I just thought of it too late. It won't let me save now. I'm already in it. Dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks. You take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible to strange to the outright grotesque. Won't stand for it anymore. Yeah, those enforcers suck eggs or something. I don't see what it said. Our children are freezing. We're doing nothing wrong. The enforcers of Terminus probably could... well, I don't know if I could have got a save in there or not. Whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd, an elderly woman and 2 men. These must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you have come down to us. What is troubling you? Why are you striking? Striking? This news to us, your lordship, says a tall, thin man in workers' group. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Shut up, Ribbit. snaps the old woman, who turns their hostile dark deals. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists. One wrong word and they're reaching for the batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to hold bays for a week at a time so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from the inflammation in their lungs, all because of the enforcers. The old woman spits on the floor and rubs the spittle with the toe of a worn-out shoe. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. It's all true. Vent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother in the lower decks and who grew up amid ships with no feeling towards us. See, told you she wasn't highborn. The grim man with a scarred face throws up his arms. Your lordship, we're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly. And now we got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. Prosecution. I was told one of you was found in possession of a cultist amulet and that there are heretics hiding here. A cultist amulet? What's that? That gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard? It was something evil or forbidden we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces around. Definitely not, and if there were, we'd be the first ones to report them. As for this amulet, whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when the fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. The boots they came back with. Nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine, I can tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us. Pretty sure most of them came from this ship. It was mutiny, not a lot of random extra people coming in. But maybe not. Oh yeah, those boots are really fine. There's no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor. When we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor. The same way my grandfather taught us 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your lordship, we are people of faith. Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the arch-enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? Somebody's walking by my house with a flashlight that just flickers. It's like a strobe effect. She turns it on, flicker, 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 and it goes off. And flicker, flicker, flicker. Anyway, it looked very weird out my window. We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I'd had my 3rd little one. That is regrettable. You cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of the amulet you stole from the heretics? The Holy Fathers who are not here, or the scavenger who brought down evil on himself and his neighbors? Abelard, anything to add? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos Worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. Abelard frowns. Clearly he's disgruntled having to explain himself. Nonetheless, I'm certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. Alright, well, we were attacked on the way down here. How do you guys explain that? Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to the limit. Now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here, like that one that the lieutenant won't let past. Fair enough. Our clans are all inside the bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there's some people who've had just about enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. A death squad has just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. Fair enough. Awareness. The words seem sincere. The body language and glances traded between them reveal the news of the attack has shocked them. Okay. What changes do you want? Would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us Biltrats what we want. Well, here's what we want. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers. To quit turning off the heat. Stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here. We want to be armed. Give us arms and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists do show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. You've gone too far, old Nan. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably insist the enforcers on upper decks, too. We do. As for weapons, what do we need them for? For the first days out, we'll have someone shooting their navy out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the occultist body and we'll talk to them. One lower decker to another. If there are any more of these damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. Got a beard hair in my mouth. What's the problem with beards? You speak for yourself and your clan, I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures, I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be on us harder than before, all because we dared to speak out. Tall Worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silent, making a few vague noises of approval. Alright, well we've got coercion of 40 here. Let's see. Spreading anarchy is the first step towards embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcer need to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands and we'll consider the rest. I'll give the orders for the enforcers to be withdrawn. Failed to convince me. Yeah, we'll go this one. Hey, at least we got this one right. The tall worker they call Rivet shrugs and casts. Old Dan, listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down and is offering us concessions. And I don't know a single person the whole Depot 4 has ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down. There's no time for you to be a stubborn old crone. Hey, we got experience for that too. Listen to us, old man. The 3 clans at Depot 4 ought to act as one. We've made our minds up. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. You two are ganging up on me? Is that it? So brave you are against an old woman. But I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against 2 clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace. That's great. Just fantastic. Lord Captain, we're all agreed. Alright. It's decided. The persecution will stop, and I'll expect you to assist in locating any remaining amulets or weapons left by the cultists. Your Lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned the lower deckers. You came yourself and settled everything. I will tell my grandchildren about this, and hopefully we don't have to go back again. Once we've shown up once, you know, they can, again, they'll tell their grandchildren. Of course, Your Lordship. We'll root out any nasty business faster than enforcers, and we'll leave no stone unturned. This might actually be worse, but at least we're not going to get a mutiny. This is complete bedlam. Are you satisfied, Lord Captain? The mayor suggests we leave the circus and, I don't know, say something. I wish this followed it down in there. And discuss everything en route. Do I have any more stuff to loot? I don't know that I've explored down here before. Pages where the start of each shift is marked, the last mark is missing, the workers went on strike. Go over here just in case there's something we could find. Nope. Alright.
Keep your wits about you.
Oops, this way. I'm going to walk out this direction this time. Last time we went up the other way.
I always keep my options open.
Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at a distance and addresses your other companion, saying, I have an urgent matter to discuss with Lord Captain. Please, give us a minute. A moment, excuse me. It really annoys me when Splattercat doesn't read the words and just makes up his own sentences. I'll try to do better. Probably doesn't annoy anybody else but me, but... well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to the disloyal rabble. You believed their lies and showed them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rabble will welcome them in open arms and allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like, because they see you as a weak leader. Is this how you see your future at the helm of the Von Valencius? Do not speak to your Lord Captain in that tone. I'm obliged to speak thus. Who else can point out errors and offer you counsel? Let's talk about your role in this instead. You allowed this revolt to happen. Your actions practically guaranteed it would. I would have handled this situation myself had you not decided to intervene. Remember Lord Captain Theodora? Do you think she ever set one slippered foot in the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and junior officers while she dedicated herself to the grand designs for the Protectorate, as any true strategist and road trader ought. Maybe if she'd spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There's a new Lord Captain aboard this ship, and I'll not repeat her mistakes. Abelard looks at you stunned and exhales loudly. Then he nods currently. I commend your decisiveness, but I am uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And I lost my temper, Lord Captain. I believe I had to explain myself. The prosperity of the Von Valenza Protector is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for a chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders not simply forge new routes and capture worlds, they create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I'd known, everything my family had known. I came from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly blacklist venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time with. She would go off her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire Protector rested on my shoulders. Then suddenly, everything that had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hangar on a seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I'm not panicking or grieving because I not allow myself to panic or grieve. I'm duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out by the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. Alright. She trusted him. She died. Stop living in the past. I need you to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain, accept and start living in a new world where Theodora's gone, where you and I have new decisions to make. The prosperity is just as important to me. I'll do what you say. Theodora created... I value what she created and trust the situation of aberration. I've seen plenty of sentiment and hand-wringing and very little competence. No, I think we just go, hey, I'm here now. We'll figure it out as we go forward. We'll find a new balance. Yes, your Lord Captain. You resolve as Admiral and demonstrate strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. Now, please, let us leave the lower decks. If the rogue trader desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places. All right. We got it.
Rise to the top, or get left.
We got
in the
another level.
dust.
Alright, we'll do it. We get levels fast. One of the things I actually like a lot about this game, when my character stops evolving, I get bored. So games that are really spread out with the levels and the evolution of your character, in some way, it doesn't have to be a level. You know, it could be how, you know, your solutions within, you know, chat or whatever move, you know, kind of alignment or whatever you want to call that sort of thing. I'm fine with that, but I want my character to evolve as we play. I don't want him to stay static from the beginning to the end. And the more they change, the more I like it. This was a little bit fast, but you know, we might have been almost there last time, and this was just enough to push us over the top. All right, so let's go and take a look at us first. Weapon skill, toughness, strength, agility, willpower. My willpower is at 50. My toughness is at 45. Let's give an extra point to there. That'll take it to 50. That'll help with our class or our profession or whatever archetype. There we go. All right. Now, we're going to go power weapons. So we're going to go power weapon expert. We don't have one yet, but we know we want power weapons at some point. That's going to be where we're going to go. So I'm going to grab that, and we'll complete. All right. Over to our navigator. Get back in the fight. Immediately recovers from burning, bleeding, toxin, and stun effects. Now, we haven't seen any of that yet, but I have had fights, especially in Chapter 2, where there's a lot of burning. A lot of burning. So I think I'm going to take that. I think that's a good one to have. There's also at least one fight I can think of where there's a lot of toxin effects. Feel the light. But we could go down here. Alright, so that requires reveal the light. Show the path. Glimpse of fate or reveal the light. That's not bad. Notch of purpose. Enemy close to that square immediately moves up 4 cells towards it. Multiple enemies at the same distance, all of them move. The targets move even if they're oh. That's interesting. All enemies in a 6 cell must pass the resistance removing with 3 cells. Okay. I don't know how useful that is. Creates a circle with 3. Any creature that is inside it enters and ends their turn inside, not under the effect of apathy. Or ends their turn inside, not... That's interesting. What do you have to do to get that? Spend all... You have to have Zone of Fear or Notch of Purpose. Touch of Anger. Those who fail, even if they're stunned or immobilized, well, within a 1-cell radius, within all enemies within the area of effect, within a 12-cell radius. Well, that says 12, but this says 1. So if we have a few people around, so I don't know which one it is. Immediately gain an extra turn where they attack their allies. Every time the enemy becomes a target of this navigator power again during the same combat, they get a bonus to... Okay, so every time we do it, they're more immune to it. I'm going to take it. I mean, this is essentially, you know, one of her Psyker abilities that leads towards something. And we'll see if it leads to something else, so we can get some friendly attack going. We'll see whether it's a 12 or a 1 when we try it. And Swift Movements, Dueling Master, Nimble... I don't know that I need any of these. Grenadier. The Course Unraveled. 2 perception till the end of combat. Okay, well, I mean, at this point, kind of the best case scenario, you'd have to use it 3 times. You'd have to use 3 navigator powers to get a bonus, assuming she's at, like, say, 65, right? Because I'd get her bonus 6, I'd boost her up 5. You know, so that's not a huge one. Enemies damaged by the navigator. Additional damage from warp damage. I'm going to go with that. I like that. Every even turn gains an additional action point. Every odd turn... Oh. She gains plus 20 perception. Till the end of combat? I mean, perception is big on her. I mean, it's a 60 already. That's pretty good. Oh, I mean, I like this one. It just sounds cool, right? Damaged by the navigator, suffer 2 times the perception bonus, which is 6, so 12% additional damage from warp damage. Eye of Oblivion. Master of Time. Wow, there's a lot of these. I'm gonna go with this one for now. I'm gonna go with Blood Augury. I like that. It's just a flat passive. I like this one too, right? I mean, an additional action point every other turn. We can use that, but I think we'll go for this just for flat damage more when she hits things. All right. Ballistic skill. Why is it locked? You already have this feature. Okay. So we go agility. My agility's 50. I guess we go agility? Sure, why not? Maybe we'll find another way to get 5 more in it later. Alright. Flame Weapon Expert. I like that. Do I have Bolt Weapon Expert? Let's go with that. And then we'll go Flame Weapon next. So I think probably we're going to give her a Flamer on top of everything else. But let's go with Bolt Weapon Expert first. Because I do love me a bolter. I do love me a bolter. I just got a bolt pistol, to be fair. But I think she should be an expert. All right, Adira. What do we have for you? We might have to scroll down on her, too, to see what types of crazy stuff she's got going on. All right. Let us... So, precise attack. So, these would be class or archetype benefits, right? So, next attack against the target is affected by an exploit. The target's cover efficiency. Oh, that's pretty good. And we do that. I mean, I do hit him with analysis, which puts exploits on him. Allies' attacks also remove exploits and deal more damage. Okay. Gains 25% cover efficiency, 15 perception, and 15 ballistic skill. That's really good, especially if we're going to make her a little bit of a sniper. That could help quite a lot. I mean, we put her in cover. She's going to be in cover most of the time anyway. So more cover proficiency, more perception to help her. I like that perfect spot. That's a good one. But let's come down here and see what we got. Prescience. All right. We've already got divination, so we can get this. She gains a bonus to all her skills, essentially, or all her abilities, right? Intelligence, perception, fellowship, willpower. That's not bad. Dominate. I assume this means we can take somebody over. To move them as close as possible to the Psyker. They can act as normal, but all our MP are spent moving towards the Psyker. Okay, well, I'm not sure I need that. If they make their save, they're blinded. If they fail, they become blinded and suffer an additional psi rating penalty to all their characteristics. I kind of like that, too. That's a good one. Let's go with that one. I think that one balances, because some of these are going to be cool that we're going to want, but we're going to have to take the base level ones to get to that point. So we'll go with that. Right now, we're using her for tech use, but I don't think tech use is going to be ultimately for her. We could give her some logic. That's not terrible. We could do... What's her... Awareness is good. Subconscious mind allows the character to use traps cleverly hidden. Let's go with awareness. Let's go with that. Let's max that out. Let's get as much of that as we can. There we go. I'm good with that. Like I said, we're going to get a tech priest at some point, so we'll get tech use and logic through that character for when we need it. All right. Abelard, weapon skill, toughness, or strength. Or agility. Weapon skill? Oh, I'm going to go... I still think I'm going to go toughness. I think I'm going to just keep stacking toughness if it'll let me. All right. Bolt, chain. We could get him a chain sword at some point. I mean, right now I think he's got essentially a giant hammer, so we could go power hammer on him. But I'm kind of wondering if we go chain weapon expert. What is combat? No melee superiority bonuses against him, so if he ends up in a circle, that's not bad, actually. What do we have down here? Anything? Do not falter. We do brace. Do we have brace for impact? It's all bonus for brace for impact. Okay. I'm gonna go combat master. Right, because surrounded by more allies. In melee combat, any target surrounded by more allies than enemies gets a bonus. So if we have a bunch of people around us, they're all going to get a plus 10 weapon skill bonus for each additional ally. So if there's 3 guys around us, they're all going to get plus 20 to their weapon. So if we charge him in, he could potentially have that. So Combat Master will take that away. Let's go with that. So we can charge him into a group without worrying about it. I think that makes sense. Okay. And I'm going to end the episode here because what I thought was going to be like a quick 35-minute episode is now an hour and 5 minutes. So we will continue on to see that ship next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Don't forget to subscribe. May the Emperor be with you. Cheers.